Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys. We got some interesting news here. Supposedly there's going to be a new Zenkai. Not supposedly, it's confirmed there's going to be a new Zenkai actually. And it's going to be USS based. Let me actually put it up on the screen now. So you can see here Dragon Ball Legends, their official Twitter, they got the yellow check mark. They've actually posted this here. 5th anniversary campaign. A new Zenkai Awakening is coming soon. Here's a hint. It's a certain special episode Universe Survival Saga S character. Leave your predictions in the comments. So they're actually fueling people to be interactive as well. So this might be a serious one, and I feel like since they're fueling people to be interactive, it's probably going to be something of hype. Now, something also to put of note, and you've probably already seen the thumbnail and title, is that I've already glazed it around Ultra Instinct Sign, right? And it's actually very, very reasonable that it's going to be him. Obviously, people are assuming at this point, but it's pretty much going to be him. I feel like if anything, they would Zenkai him of all people. Now, I want to show you guys this. The raid bonus battle characters, wondering who the upcoming Zenkai might be. So you can see here, we've got all of the first Go Freezer banner characters, and then they just sneak in UI Sign, who wasn't there before. So if we actually look in the game, right, I'm actually gonna bring up the game right here. If I actually bring up the news, right, and actually go to the raid, so let's go to the Jiren raid, right? We can see the boost characters, and you can see UI Sign was not there. MUI was there, but UI Sign was not a member of the boost in any way, shape, or form. MUI filling up the last slot. So given that we have this over here, where UI Sign is filling up the last slot on the roster for the raid, it's pretty much going to be UI Sign. If it's not UI Sign, who's it going to be? But just for the sake, let's actually look at the character box and actually see what universe rep characters exist in the game Dragon Ball Legends. So I'm actually gonna pick everything here. Actually, no, let me just do sparking. I'm bugging. And then what you want to do is go to episode and go to Universe Survival Saga S, because that's specifically what it said over here. It didn't say universe rep, it said Universe Survival Saga. So I'm gonna make sure it's specific to what they put in the description right now. So you can see there's a bunch of characters, right? It doesn't specify it's a Legends Limited as well, but really and truly, who are they gonna Zenkai? If they Zenkai Jiren, that would be so annoying. That would be so annoying. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Ultra Instinct Sign. If you don't think it's Ultra Instinct Sign, let me know who you think it is. Now let me talk about if it is UI Sign, right? And one thing I just want to point out, right, little flex, but I was Z powering Ultra Instinct Sign from like 6 stars, right? 6 stars is when I had him on release, all the way to 14, and I'm still 1 copy off. I've been trying to get him on the Legends Weekend, ain't been dropping. I've been trying to get him on tickets, he ain't been dropping. I've been trying to get him on banners that he's been on, ain't been dropping. So I literally Z-powered him all the way to 1 copy away from 14 stars. So hopefully I can get him 14 stars for when he actually Zenkais, but that's another conversation. So with UI Sign here, would he actually be the most effective for the game right now? We've got Yellow Kid Buu, Ultra Kid Buu running around and doing stuff. I wouldn't say there's a lot of other yellows. I'd say Jiren is a very big threat though, as a yellow for sure. And for the main purples, we've got UGB and Gold Freezer. Do we need another do we need another purple? Did I say purple? I did say purple. I hope I did. Yeah. Do we need another purple running the game? And if he gets a Zenkai, what would he Zenkai buff? Would he probably Zenkai buff Universe Rep, which is specifically favorable for Gold Freezer. So you can imagine purple something with Gold Freezer and UI Sign. They can both get the same Zenkai buffs. None of them are Ultra, so they don't have Ultra ability reliance or anything like that. They don't need to be on the leader slot. It'll be an interesting matchup, I'm not gonna lie. But one thing I'm more worried about is the fact that when they Zenkai Ultras, right? I mean, when they Zenkai Legends Limited units, right, they often make them good, and that's way well above any other Zenkai in the game when we're talking Legends Limited. So let me actually put Legend Limited Zenkai Awaken, right? So these are the LL Zenkais that we have in the game, I believe, not just restricting it to anything. So Zenkai Awaken and Awakened. Let me just put applicable, in case I don't have anybody. Alright, cool, that's the same thing. So these are all the Zenkai Legend Limited characters, and UI Sign will most likely be joining them given the information I just showed you. Just to recap, because the raid people are emphasizing that it's most likely going to be UI Sign, because there's a 7 non-stop raid, by the way. 7 raids back to back to back, 700 CC to be collected back to back to back from each and every one of them, and they just added UI Sign who wasn't there before. Cool, going back to this now. These are all the Zenkai LLs we have in the game, and pretty much all of them were good except, like, okay, let's take maybe VB wasn't good because of his thing, but he was still doing a lot more damage because they gave him a good upgrade. Everybody else on this list was somewhat good when they got a Zenkai, I'm not going to lie. Even Goten was shining on hybrid Saiyans with purple, red with Revhan, so don't even count this guy out. Like, literally everybody here when they got a Zenkai, maybe not MV as well, just to throw him out there, he wasn't that great, was pretty much shining in some way, shape or form when they got a Zenkai. So that's to show that when they Zenkai LFs, right, they actually make them very valuable, or they have a lot of meta presence in the game. But for UI Sign, I don't know if that's going to be the exact same, simply because there's already 2 other purples that are just insane in the game right now. He'll obviously fit on the team, but on top of that, I have a lot of doubt for the fact that he has a dodge gauge. Now, we seen with the first UI Sign, he was very, very weak in terms of his defenses, but his offenses were hitting, they were good. We've seen the same thing as well with Rev Sign and MUI. So any character that pretty much has this dodge mechanic, they're not going to have the strongest of defenses. They might be very, very good, and if he's Zenkais, he'll be on boost probably, which is very, very good, but because he's a Zenkai, it's not going to be that much more than what he would usually have. But outside of that, the dodge mechanic basically forces them not to actually boost their defenses, and they actually tried to do that so it's realistic to the anime, where Goku was in a very vulnerable state if he got hit, but the whole point of Ultra Instinct is to not get hit. So boosting the defenses is a bit overkill excessively, if they do it excessively, when he's meant to be just a heavy offensive guy, and the dodges is meant to be there so you don't get hit, which is actually very, very effective. If you know how to use them, which is why scaling UIs, MUI, Rev Sign, and UI Sign, scaling them in the game is pretty much, it's a weird thing to do, because they could be the best in the game at any playing level in my opinion, but at the same time they could be the worst in the game at any playing level. It depends on the user using them more than anything else, which is why they're really, really weird. They might deserve to get their own tier. I think I might actually start making realistic tier lists as well, something I've been considering. Let me know what you guys think about that. But if I wanted to add anything to UI Sign, he'd need the defenses, no cap. Why do I have him friendship 10? That's crazy. He'd need the defenses, no cap, honestly. It'd be pretty dope if they give him blast armor, because even though he wasn't going through blast arts in the anime, he was really, really dodging every single one of Kefla's attacks while charging forward, which is something that I think would be like the closest simulation you can get to actually using his dodge while actually being on the offensive. So blast armor would be good for him on the strike, I think. The blue card, it can pretty much stay the same. 50% of gauge on hit, that's dope. Maybe make the gauge feel slower. I mean empty slower, because it naturally decreases as well, which is a factor. The main ability needs to be a lot more. Like, look how empty this is. He does actually cancel enemy attribute upgrades, so all their buffs go, so the ultimate hits harder, but it needs to be way more than this. Give him some damage inflicted or something. Give him cover nullification. I don't know, but that's an empty main ability. Obviously still under the assumption that UI Sign is coming. Down here, it's pretty much just going to get slight upgrades to just make him more usable. But this thing over here, where it's like 3 counter laps, 8 counter laps, maybe they should make it 3, then 7, then maybe like 10. Maybe that's dragging it, but hey, they should give it a bit more. It's a bit subtle, like it's not too much. Or make it non-cancelable, and then it resets when he switches. That would be a lot more effective as well, because sometimes he'd be losing his buffs over the minorest things. Some characters can just take your buff off a green card. So yeah, that's something I would like to see. And besides from that, his unit gauge pretty much carries his kit. But hopefully they do make him a good Zenkai, because they have not missed with a lot of these LF Zenkais. If I actually go back to the applicable screen, Forku here literally holding GT on his back. Obviously tag 4s and 17 dropped, but this guy here was really the source with the double cover changes. He can't be he nullifies cover change if one person is dead. His ultimate hits like a nuke, and it always has hit like a nuke, but he was just overall not as useful. And the fact that he actually supports his team with buffs as well, very, very effective. Even Rose over here once upon a time was being Mr. Nullify endurance at every turning point. He was actually very, very effective. This first one, Frieza, is still lurking now that Gold Frieza's come out, and he was actually very, very good, and is very, very good on LOE. Not gonna say he's like a high status unit or anything, but yeah. SV over here, Zenkai buff is perfect for UGB, and he's a HP buff at 14 stars, which is very, very unorthodox, but that's good for Fusion Warriors as a whole. So you can see here a lot of these Zenkais have a lot of use. This guy is outdated, but you know, Sniper Jones, Sniper Vegeta, man. A lot of these Zenkais have use, man, and when they actually get Zenkais as a LF, we are usually getting something of status, something of value, not just these crap. Let's actually go back. So let's actually go back and look at all this mid, man. There's all this mid right here. Most of these, if not all of these, are pretty much unusable, which is actually wild. And I hope they don't do that for UI Sign if they decide to Zenkai him. But yeah, I'm gonna leave the video like that, man. Those are just my thoughts on UI Sign as a whole. I'm really happy that he is getting a Zenkai. If he does get a Zenkai, it's most likely going to be him, since they emphasized it as a certain special character, special episode Universe Survival Saga character. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video like that, man. Press the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on this grind to 50,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.